Welcome everybody to episode 8 of You'll Never Guess How Stupid We Were this week. We were meant to be house sitting to look after some cats of some friends that are going off on a little holiday journey. And we showed up 1 week too early. Fortunately, they had not yet left for the event that they were going to that evening, because it would have been pretty shocking, I think, if they'd come home to find us in their lounge room patting their cats without expecting us to be there. Yeah, so we are super dumb sometimes. You are joining us in the kitchen as we cook dinner, because we've sort of left this recording session a little bit late. I'm here with my lovely wife, Chef Alice.
Yes, I'm head chef of this kitchen, so I'll
That's
be
right.
telling Steve what to do throughout this podcast.
Yes, I'm on cheese duties apparently.
Well, we are currently making pizza.
Pizza.
It's pizza night in this house on a Saturday night.
That's right.
Because pizza's great. We love pizza.
But I kind of don't like ordered pizza very much, and fortunately Alice makes excellent pizza, so...
Well, if you make it yourself, you can have it exactly how you want it.
That's right. We both like a thin base for a start.
We both like a thin base. We're both like pineapple, which is a controversial topic, I know. I like a lot of pineapple.
I'm
Steve
sorry to all the Italians. I like a bit.
Just a little bit, but
Yeah.
I will eat just like pineapple with cheese on some bread and call that a pizza. And it's delicious. So yeah, we're making pizza. Steve is on cheese duty. He's got
That's
a huge
right.
block of cheese. He's grating it up.
And reading all the necessary things from the peoples. So let us begin, shall we, with the audience feedback for this week.
Yes.
Do you want to swap sides so
Sure.
you can read?
I'm currently putting the tomato paste on the pizza bases.
That's right. We use
do
what's this called?
Pizza sauce.
No, the flats.
Ah, tortillas. We use tortillas.
I call them flats.
Yes, well, he
Because
forgot the
they're
name for them one day. And he go, you know, the flats.
The flats. So
So-
now they're called flats in this house. Yeah.
Cool. Anyway, so audience feedback. First one's from Christopher Mendham, a channel regular, often enters the story competitions.
Yeah, you can actually find a playlist of his short stories.
Called-
The Mendham Compendium.
Happy with that one, won't you?
How very happy with that one.
You can have that one, Chris, by the way, when you release your book of short stories.
That's right. That's right.
So here's his feedback. Was on episode 1. Nice to see you back. Glad you got rid of that beardless imposter bloke.
Yeah. Yeah, because I've had to grow a beard for the play that I'm in.
Ah, so that's why you're bringing back a comment from episode 1.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
going to say, that's a while ago.
It was.
But
Yeah.
you've actually started growing a beard again, so it's timely.
That's right. That's right. And I think Chris has only just started listening, despite the fact that he is a Patreon supporter and gets all this stuff for free. He, he listens to things at his own pace, so that's cool.
Cool.
Yes, the beardless imposter is gone.
Yes. Next comment from David McCollum on Frankenstein. I really appreciate the work you do. You have a beautiful voice. Much love from the USA.
Oh, thank you so much for the comments on my voice. I grew it myself, you know.
You did well done. We'll see if he still likes your voice so much when he listens to Gatsby. And
Yeah,
he's doing
we'll
the
see.
old American accent.
There's been a distinct void of commentary from the American listeners, and the Gatsby is now completely out for
patrons.
the YouTube members and patrons. So, I would have hoped for a few comments by now, and they haven't been there. So, I'm thinking maybe I did an awful job.
Comment by Judah7162 on Deadhaven.
Ah, your short story?
Ah, right, yeah. Thank you, Alice, for messing with our heads. Now I'll be trying to figure out his delusion versus his reality in my dreams.
Yeah, sleep well.
Me
sleep
too,
well.
because I don't know where that shit came from, man.
No, that was weird, right?
That
That was your second attempt at writing a story that month?
Yeah, I'd started a story earlier in the month and got like about 1,000 words into it. No, maybe only 700, because about halfway through the prompt length, which
Yeah.
was 1,500. Sat down the day before it was due to try and knock it out.
I was going to say,
finish
it all
up.
came out in like a day, didn't it?
Well, it did. In a few
Yeah.
hours, you went off to
Yeah.
rehearsal, and I
That's
went,
right.
okay, I've got to finish this story. Read back over what I'd done and went,
That's horrible. Yeah.
started again, and out came that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was fun.
And I got a message from Alice saying something like, I don't think I'll get you to read this story. I have no idea where this came from.
I disturbed myself.
Yeah, you disturbed yourself. That was the comment. Yeah. That's right. Which, of course, meant I was going to like it even more and just had to read it immediately. And I liked it so much, I made an audio version of it. So
yes,
there you go.
Thank you. Lovely.
Just a little bit too late to be included in the short story submission.
I was able to go back and add the link in.
Oh,
so
that's good.
fine. You're allowed
That's
to edit
good.
them once they've been posted.
I do like doing that. When the short stories are really good, I like to make an audiobook version and put a link to it in the submission forms. Okay. Yeah. I'll read the next one since you're busy laying cheese on. This is from Yang5811. Commenting on the annual sale, saying, I missed it! No!
Oh, no.
Yeah, oh no. But that's okay. Don't worry too much.
There'll be another one.
Yeah. I mean, I only generally do one massive one per year for my birthday month, but we might do one for Alice's this year as well. And I tend to do like minor sales throughout the year. And in fact, most of the reason that I put this comment up is that I have gone through and just flat reduced a lot of the prices on the website. Most of them are $10 or less now.
Ooh.
I think only the really long books are more than that. Yeah, most of them are about a tenner. So there you go. That's pretty good. The next one.
Yep.
From Alice is going through the freezer now.
Yeah, sorry about that.
On 4 Archives, on the island of Dr. Moreau. A book that I think would be incredible to hear you read is called Lilith by George MacDonald, a high fantasy Victorian masterpiece.
Oh.
Now, I had never heard of the writer, I'd never heard of the book, but I had a look and it is actually legal. It's a public domain work that could be recorded and it looks pretty interesting. So I thought I'd put out the call to the audience, see if anyone else has read this book and whether they too might like to hear an audiobook version of it, because that would be kind of cool. I'm always happy to do ones that the audience wants to hear. The next one's very long. We might skip it and see if we have time to get to it later, because I think this is already going to be kind of a long
Sure.
podcast.
Do you want to slice your sausage?
Sure. My cabanossi. Is that what it is?
I'm not sure. It's some kind. It's not the usual sausage we buy. We usually get like a chorizo, spicy
Chorizo,
sausage
that's what I was trying to think of.
for your pizza, but this is something different. But
Forgive the water.
I don't know what it is.
Oh, that's right. This is that big German loopy one that I bought, right?
Yeah, some kind of wurst.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the worst though. It's fine.
I'm actually not a huge fan. I think it'll do fine on the pizza, but it basically just tastes of fat.
Yes.
There's not a lot of flavour in this one,
Anyway,
so there you go.
You do your chops of that.
Yep, I'll jump over if you want to hit the next comment, top of the page there.
Ryan Robotham. Or Ryan Robotham.
Robotham.
Maybe he's a Robotham. On Around the World in 80 Days. So Phileas Fogg keeps an account of location, times of arrivals, days gained or lost and such. That's the point where you know it'll go wrong.
Yeah. Right? Like, it's just too detailed. He's too sure of everything that's going on. He's like, I'm here at this date and it all takes this long. And all through the book, like, everyone's saying, you can't be that certain about things. You're travelling so far around the whole world, things are going to go wrong, mate. Yeah. And he's like, no, I've taken all that into account. I'm perfect, don't you know?
Well, it wouldn't be much of a book if it just went as planned, you know? That's not a good story.
It's already close enough to a travel blog as it is. It doesn't need to be more of just, and everything was fine. And I ran into some lovely people, ate some delightful food, and the journey was marvellous. Thank you. Yeah.
Last comment, Kavazovic, 93, on Depths of the Ocean.
Another one of your short stories. This was actually recorded quite a long time ago, I think just after Dracula. Yeah.
It was written years before that even.
Yeah, this is one of your very old ones, right?
But the comment is, reminds me of one time when I was a kid. We went to the beach and I went out as far as I could until I stepped on something slimy and cold that twitched under my foot, and I put pressure on it. Before you know it, I was back on shore and decided never to venture out that far again. I am with you. The ocean is gross and creepy.
Yep. Me too. Different reasons, but same thing. I worked on a fishing boat for a while and I saw some horrible things Cthulhu-esque from the darkest dimensions, dragged up on the boat, and I lost all desire to set foot in that undiscovered country. Not so much undiscovered, I was being a bit silly there, but
Yeah.
I'm laying the meat on my pizza, so I'm distracted.
How much of the ocean
Like,
floor
very
is
little.
undiscovered? Like,
Yeah, lots of it,
huge,
lots of it,
huge
lots of
amounts.
it.
So
Yeah.
I think undiscovered country is quite valid.
That's true. That's true.
Cool.
So that's it for the comments. Let's move on to what are we reading, eh?
Cool.
And you don't have one for this, but I do. So
Well, I
let's
don't.
swap
I can
sides.
freeball if you want, but if you think we've got
can, of
plenty of
course.
content, you can just
Yeah,
go
maybe
for
we'll
it. You
save it
don't-
for next time so you've got stuff to write. Unless you want, if you've read something in particular. I know I got you quite a cool little
You
present
did. That's
recently.
not what I was going to talk about though, because I
Oh.
also just finished reading Gatsby. Maybe?
Oh, the great something or other.
Yeah.
No.
This guy.
Read by some dork
Yeah.
that does a bad American accent, I think. Unfortunately. What did you think?
I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I have read the book before, so it wasn't like a new read. It was a reread, which I think was good because, like, it gave me an opportunity to pick up on sort of some different nuances that I maybe didn't pick up on the first time around, or you know how just when you're in a different place when you
Yeah.
read things, you always pick up different bits.
Absolutely.
I thought your American accent was fine. I don't think you've got anything to worry about.
Okay.
I mean, knowing that it's not your natural accent, I always found it odd when there's a word, I can't think of an example, but like a word that isn't like doesn't have a strong American accent.
Yeah.
So it felt like you were saying it in your Australian accent.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, it's like actually it would be pronounced exactly the
Yeah,
same.
that's how they'd say that. I bet. See, this is why I'm so sort of doubtful about my own performance, because there's so many moments like that. There really are. And I had to do like, 10 different American accents, something like a heap.
Yeah.
A heap, you know.
I think
So,
you did a good mix. A lot of sort of, though, I guess that's where it's based on the East Coast,
Yeah, absolutely.
New York.
With only a couple of
Hey,
southern
I'm walking
characters.
here, you know.
Hey, I'm Gatsby. All right. That's not how he sounded, by the way, for those who haven't
No,
heard
he
it.
was the old sport. And
That's right. Hey, old sport. I'm Gatsby.
Yeah.
Welcome to the boat. How about we go for a journey and look at some things and laugh at poor people? Ha 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 ha. Yeah. Secret spoiler only for those who listen to the podcast. I don't like The Great Gatsby. I hate that book. I think it's really awful. But there you go. It's just one of those things that like it glories in obscene wealth and you know absolute privilege and just all the worst parts of that part of human history, I think.
But I think it also shows that, like, these people who have the wealth are empty. They
Yeah,
have nothing.
that's true. That's
like,
true.
They are shallow people.
It's like they don't actually interact with each other. They just interact with each other's money. Like their money talks to other people's money and the people are barely involved.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. The spoiler again, but this one from within the book. Jay Gatsby himself goes from nothing, being completely ignored by these people. Then he gets rich and they're all like, hey, Gatsby, welcome. And then he loses his sort of money and they're like, oh, don't care anymore. You know, he had nothing more to give them, so he was out, you know, yeah. I think it's a shame that we started doing our companion podcasts on The Invisible Man. I would have loved to have gone through the Gatsby and just tear it to pieces with you, because it's so worthy of that.
I listened to a podcast doing some analysis on Gatsby as I was listening to Gatsby,
Okay.
your production of Gatsby. So that was kind of raised lots of things that I hadn't considered in my first reading of it.
Nice.
Yeah, which was
That's why I like those companion pieces.
Me too, me too.
Yeah. I'd never really thought about them before until you started talking about them, but yeah, I think they're really good.
Do you want mushroom on your pizza?
Yes, please. Thank you. All right, so let's move on to favourite writers. I will actually record this in the booth later.
Oh, your Asimov Part 2?
Yeah, Asimov Part 2. That's it. We did part 1 last month, so check out episode 7. I think if you missed that, you should definitely listen to that first.
Do you want more mushroom than this, or is that enough?
No, that's fine.
That's enough? Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Isaac Asimov, part 2. You can check podcast episode 7 for the first half. Asimov's positronic robot stories, the I, Robot collection, which has almost nothing to do with the mostly awful Will Smith film of the same name, were begun at about the same time as Asimov accepted the post of Associate Professor of Biochemistry at the Boston University School of Medicine after World War II. These genre-defining tales promulgated a set of rules of ethics for robots, the 3 laws of robotics, read for us here by the mighty Tim Williams.
1. A robot may not injure a human being, or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm. 2. A robot must obey the orders given it by human beings except where such orders would conflict with the first law. 3. A robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second law.
iRobot also introduced the idea of intelligent machines that greatly influenced other writers and thinkers in their treatment of the subject. Asimov notes that he was largely inspired by the tendency of robots up to that time to fall consistently into a Frankenstein plot in which they destroyed their creators. Also, one of Asimov's robot short stories, The Bicentennial Man, was expanded into a novel, The Positronic Man, and this was adapted into the 1999 movie Bicentennial Man starring Robin Williams, which I have not seen as it seemed like a kid's film, but maybe one day I should watch it. By 1952, Asimov was making more money as a writer than from the university, and he eventually stopped doing research, confining his university role to lecturing students. In December 1957, Asimov was dismissed from his teaching post with effect from June 30, 1958, due to his lack of research, and finally took up his post as a full-time writer, but not just that. He was also an able public speaker and was regularly invited to give talks about science in his distinct New York accent. He participated in many science fiction conventions where he was friendly and approachable. He patiently answered tens of thousands of questions and other mail with postcards and was pleased to give autographs. In 1984, the American Humanist Association, Good Without a God, named him the Humanist of the Year. From 1985 until his death in 1992, he served as honorary president of the AHA and was succeeded by his friend and fellow writer Kurt Vonnegut. He was also a close friend of Star Trek creator Gene Roddenberry, after a slightly shaky start, and earned a screen credit as Special Science Consultant on Star Trek The Motion Picture for his advice during production. Asimov was a founding member of the Committee for the Scientific Investigation of Claims of the Paranormal and is listed in its pantheon of skeptics. Although Asimov won more than a dozen annual awards for particular works of science fiction and a half-dozen lifetime awards, as well as receiving 14 honorary doctorate degrees from universities, although he once described Carl Sagan as one of only 2 people he ever met whose intellect surpassed his own and was a reluctant on and off member of Mensa, he was not haughty about his intelligence and described some members of Mensa as brain-proud and aggressive about their IQs. Due to pressure by fans on Asimov to write another book in his Foundation series, he did so, with Foundation's Edge in 1982 and Foundation and Earth in 1986, and then went back to before the original trilogy with Prelude to Foundation in 1988 and Forward the Foundation in 1992, his last novel. As well as being a prolific sci-fi author, he also wrote many hard science articles and books, coined many of the words in common usage today, such as robotic and positronic, and even published theological works with Asimov's Guide to the Bible, complete with maps and political influences which affected it at the time of writing. Asimov was an atheist and a humanist. He did not oppose religious conviction in others, but he frequently railed against superstitious and pseudo-scientific beliefs that tried to pass themselves off as genuine science. He also wrote guides to Shakespeare, of which he was a fan, an annotated guide to Don Juan, Paradise Lost, and Gulliver's Travels. He was also a noted mystery author, publishing 2 full-length mystery novels and 66 short stories about the Black Widowers, a group of men who met monthly for dinner, conversation, and a puzzle. He was also a funny guy, publishing several books of limericks, Yiddish humour, and in typical Asimovian fashion, one book which was both a working joke book and a treatise propounding his views on the practical theory of comedy. The man was a scientist to the very end. In 1977, Asimov had a heart attack. In December 1983, he had a triple bypass surgery at NYU Medical Center, during which he contracted HIV from a blood transfusion. His HIV status was kept secret out of concern that the anti-AIDS prejudice might extend to his family members. I don't know how old our listeners are, but for those of us who were there at the time, the fear of HIV/AIDS was huge and real, clearly not understanding the nature of the disease, though to be fair, no one really did at the time. Asimov died in Manhattan on April 6, 1992, and was cremated. The cause of death was falsely reported as heart and kidney failure. 10 years following Asimov's death, his wife Janet and daughter Robin agreed that the HIV story should be made public. Honestly, there is still so much to tell. Asimov was a giant in so many fields that I could not possibly cover it all. Suffice it to say that despite some faults, he was a personal hero of mine, and the man I would like to have been had I been granted the gifts of greater talent, perseverance, and genius than I have been given. I cannot recommend enough that you all read as much Asimov as you possibly can. I will, unfortunately, very likely never get to make any of his works into audiobooks, but I can dream. All right, so there you go. That was Asimov Part 2 of my report. Honestly, I could go on about that man for a whole series of podcasts. He was brilliant and such an inspiration to me, and just you know, not a man without flaws. He was certainly a flawed human being, as are we all, but I think the benefits far outweighed, you know, any of the
I think
other stuff.
we should all aspire to have sideburns as mighty as Isaac Asimov.
Right? I mean, yeah, they put the mutton in mutton chops. Really, really enormous. Okay, so let's go on to coming up, the next section. What's coming up on the channel? YouTube members and Patreon supporters now have access to the full audiobook of The Great Gatsby. I believe it's the compiled version as well as the separate chapters.
The $10 and above patrons get a compiled version.
Right.
$5 patrons get the whole book, but it is individual chapters. So you have to put in a little bit of work yourself, but you are getting a whole audiobook for $5. So
Yeah,
I think that's
pretty
reasonable.
Good. Pretty good. And I really would seriously love to hear what you thought about it. It was a lot of work, and it was the last book ever produced with our former editor, Mache. From here on in, it's back to just me in the booth and on the editing box. So that's The Invisible Man, basically, starting off from there, and all the short stories that we're doing at the moment. They also, the members and Patreon supporters, have access to the introductory episode of Tim Pod, the companion podcast we were just talking about for The Invisible Man, which will be starting next week on September 1st, 2025. If this goes well, we'll do more in the future, eh? Maybe even go back and do some of our previous releases. Let us know if you're interested in that sort of thing down in the comments. We would love to hear from you. Speaking of which, before we roll on, let's go on to some audience questions, shall we?
Sure, let me just wash my hands.
Get some of that pineapple juice off.
Yes.
And I'll lay some cheese on while you're reading questions.
Yeah, go for it. Nice. All the cheese, please.
Oh, I know how much cheese you like.
Okay, audience questions. Shadow the Cat 7 asks, have you ever done The Island by Aldous Huxley? Or do I have to wait until like 2039?
Yeah, unfortunately you do. That's it actually shows good knowledge of copyright law, because that is actually the year that it will enter public domain. Yeah. So yes, unfortunately so. There's
The Island is like a sort of follow-on from Brave New World, right?
I have no idea. I've never read it.
Okay.
So I don't know.
I might be confusing it, but I think
Right.
that's what it is.
Right. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Holaf1649 on Brave New World. Perfect. I need to purchase a copy. Where do I do that? I didn't see this novel on your site.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not allowed to sell it.
Yes.
Yeah. So you just have to listen to it on YouTube for as long as it's there, I'm afraid.
Patreon?
Yes.
Patreon.
Yes, actually, if you have a look on, it might even be on the Patreon store, I'm not sure. Worth having a look, I think. Patreon has its own store, separate to the steveparkeraudiobooks.com store. It might be there, I don't know.
Question from Chris Mendham. Oh, two appearances
Two from
in this
Chris.
episode. This is on episode 6, so he must have gone through and listened to
Wow, he's been very energetic.
but now you live in Middle Earth. Who will you join?
Oh,
Are you a man of Gondor? A man of the Rohirrim? A tall dwarf of the Iron Hill?
Right.
A big hobbit? Or a cool orc? Oh, come on, leading question.
Well, for a start, I have to say Alice is the Lord of the Rings fan, not me. I liked The Hobbit. I didn't really like Lord of the Rings, though. But I am orc-born.
Obviously.
I am orc, you know. Elves be damned, hobbits are a good snack for the march, but orcs, warriors born. Rah! Yeah, orky. Orc. Thank you.
And last question from Viper0451. Could you please do Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451? It is my most favourite book of all time, and I would love to hear your rendition of it.
Me too. I'd love to.
Sad face.
Yeah, sad face from me too, unfortunately, because it won't be public domain for a very long time.
No, Ray Bradbury only died in early 2000s-ish.
Yeah, I will probably be dead before his works go into public domain, I'm afraid. So, sorry. Either we need a lot more financial supporters so I can afford to buy licenses, which is incredibly unlikely, or you just have to hope that I live forever so that I can make all the audiobooks in the world. Yeah. No, there's a bunch of the more modern sort of sci-fi writers that I would love to do, but I just can't. Yeah, unfortunately. There you go. Sorry. So that's it for this episode. We'll be back with more next month. Feel free to send in your favourite audiobooks and readers, your comments, complaints and questions about SPA projects, and we'll endeavour to get to them all. Thanks everyone for generously supporting the arts that you love. All the best from me and mine to you and yours. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Pizza.
It's a pineapple.